every single interview had a different environment, had a different feel. We interacted differently, even just the way the one-on-one interview was set up. Today, I am going to go over 10 things that you want to consider when you are choosing which airline you want to work for. Hey friends, welcome back to Fly with Liz. I am Liz. I go over travel tips, travel products, and all things flight attendant. Today, I am going to go over 10 things that you want to consider when you are choosing which airline you want to work for. Especially if you have a CJO from different airlines, how do you decide? Sometimes it's hard to decide which one you are going to go for. So let's go over 10 things that you can consider on a pros and cons chart. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and pick up this book. It's the Ultimate Workbook. It is on Amazon, or you can send me an email and I can give you a discount on the PDF version. But inside of it, there is a place for you, for each airline, for you to jot down your pros and cons list. That's one of the benefits of this workbook, to keep track of that. So let's go over 10 pros and cons, or how to decide. Pros and cons are going to be different for everybody. Somebody might put a pro on one side that to somebody else might be a con on the other side. So I'm not saying that the actual thing you are considering is a pro or con. You will have to make that choice for yourself, but these are things to consider about each airline when you are making the decision. So the first one is, do they have a good reputation? Do they have a good safety record? How are they viewed on social media? What do people say about them? Now, that might not directly affect your job, but that is always something good to consider. Number 2, do you like their branding? Every airline is different. So do you like their branding? Do you like what they stand for as a company? Do you like their value system? Go ahead. You can Google their mission statement. You can Google their values. So go ahead and do that and see if you believe in what they are saying. If you can agree that that is the company that you want to stand behind based on their branding, their design. Do you get excited when you see it? Remember, this company being a flight attendant is not just a job, it's a lifestyle. So you really want to work for a company that you are proud of and that you believe in. So reputation, number 1, and also their branding, number 2, kind of go hand in hand. So be sure to check those out. Now, something that directly is going to affect you is number 3. Number 3 is your base. Where do they have bases? You might not get your hometown, but is there a possibility that you might get a base in your hometown? Is it a senior base? Is it a junior base? I know I'm in Los Angeles. Most of the airlines, Los Angeles is a senior base for most of the airlines. So I'm pretty much guaranteed that I might not get that. And that's just something I had to be okay with. But do I want a base that is in New York where I have to fly cross country if I'm commuting? Or is there a base maybe in San Francisco that I can fly up to? That's way closer if I'm commuting. So where are the options for the bases that you might be placed at? That is definitely a pro or a con. Definitely look at each airline that you are considering and decide about that. Another thing to consider for pros and cons is, what routes do they have? Are they traveling? Does the airline travel internationally? Or is it a regional airline where you go do a quick turn and come right back and you're home every night? So what are their routes? How long are their layovers usually? So think about that when you're considering the airline and what you're looking for. Do you want to be home every night? Do you want to be traveling internationally a lot? Do you want to just be in the US on like 3-day trips? So each airline, as far as that, is different. Again, regional is going to be way different than a legacy and mainline carrier. So look into that and make sure you figure out whether that's a pro or a con for you. This one goes with every job. I believe this is number 5. This one is with every job. What is the pay? What benefits do you get from the job? So those, especially with a flight attendant, you can find that information online, because every flight attendant for that airline is getting the same thing. So go ahead and check that out. You can definitely look at Facebook groups to find that information, search it online. It is there. But what is the pay? What are the benefits? Are there flight benefits for your family? Is there a 401k? Is there a company match? So all of that information will also come into play. Go ahead and do your research and jot, like I said, again, jot that down. Grab my book. It's a small investment, and that way you have all the information in here. It also has information for you to record when you're going to your interviews, what you're going to wear, the hotels. It has a place where you can put username and password for each airline you apply to, notes and flight information, savings tracker. I'm not really a salesperson, but this book is going to save you a lot of time, keep you organized, and then you have this really cool book that is your journey of becoming a flight attendant. It also has journal pages in the back for you to write down everything you're experiencing and keep a record of it, which is super exciting. But back to pros and cons. So you are going to want to, I just have notes down here, I don't want to forget anything. So you are going to definitely want to look at the pay scale and benefits and which one fits the best with your lifestyle, what you can work with. Another thing is work schedules. How are their work schedules set up? Are there reserve days? Are you reserve months maybe? Are you going to be on reserve when you're a junior, or will you get a line? Those things will definitely affect your position. So look at reserve days, see what you can research about the company itself, what they give you. Like I know Delta right at this point in time gives you 6 reserve days a month. That is just, I mean, that's out there. So other airlines, you're on reserve when you're a junior flight attendant forever until you move up, which could be a couple years until you get your own line. So every airline is different as far as that goes, but that will affect the job. So be sure to research that and put that as a pro or a con, whatever is right for you. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Just click that button. It takes 2 seconds. Helps with the algorithms, helps me feel motivated to get more videos out to you, and spreads my videos. YouTube will show it to more people so this channel can grow and I am able to keep giving you free information on YouTube. So training, how much time? I think number seven, training. How long is the airline's training? Is it 4 weeks? Are you going to be away 4 weeks? Is it 8 weeks? Usually airlines are between 4 and 8 weeks. That's why I grabbed those numbers. But how long is it? Do you have enough savings for it? Is it far away, or is it right down the street? Maybe you are right down the street from the airline that you want, so you can drive there and you don't have to fly there, so you're not really away from home. You could come home, you know what I mean, if you needed to. Sometimes if you're close enough to drive, sometimes they put you up in the hotel and sometimes they don't. So it depends on the airline, but consider how much training you have to go through if you do get that contingent job offer, and how much you'll be away from home. Company culture, you definitely want to consider this. Who are you going to be working with? Are they diverse? Does the company have a policy that is accepting of everybody? That will affect your job. Do they value teamwork? Do they reward employees? What kind of initiatives do they do to reward employees? Do they support employees? Do you have, as a flight attendant, will you have the ability to make choices that you think are best for the guest and for customer service to make everybody happy? So consider that, the culture. You want to be around people that you really like, that you feel comfortable around. Now, you're not going to know everybody you work with, but you can get a sense, and you definitely will get a sense if you go to face-to-faces. You will definitely get a sense of the culture of the airline. One, by the building you're in, the way they run the face-to-face, who else is there applying to become a flight attendant. I've been to many different interviews, and I can tell you every single interview had a different environment, had a different feel. We interacted differently. Even just the way the one-on-one interview was set up. How were they sitting? Where were we? Was it a small room? Was it a big room? Were they sitting across the room from me? Were they sitting next to me? Every environment gives off a different energy and a different vibe. And when you go to that face-to-face, you will know how you feel about that. And that is going to be through your whole experience. So is that a pro or con? Did you feel comfortable on the interview? Did you feel like you were right at home in that environment with the airline, or was something not feeling right? If you've watched up to this point, go ahead and put an airplane emoji in the comments or shoot me a comment. I love to read your comments. I do read all of them, so I really appreciate it. It's great to see you guys out there, and let's go on with the video. Another thing to consider, number 9, another thing to consider when you are choosing between airlines and making a pros and cons list is there a flight attendant union? Some people like unions, some people don't. This is not the video to discuss unions, but it is definitely something to consider when you are choosing between airlines, whether you're just starting out and deciding which airlines to apply to, or if you have job offers from multiple airlines. This is something definitely to consider. It is a big hot topic, whether you want to be a part of a union or not a part of a union. So make sure you know if the airline you are applying to or considering, or multiple airlines you are applying to and considering, have a flight attendant union, and if you want that or don't want that, or you're not really sure, and then you can do some more research. Another thing to consider is your personal values. Do you like companies that give back to the environment? Do you like companies that make social statements and participate in local activities? In summary, here are the 10 things you should consider when choosing between airlines. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bell notification would be amazing if you hit that, because then you will be told when my videos come out. As soon as they come out, you'll be the first one to see it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day. Sending you hugs, and I will see you next time.
I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.